G'day and welcome back. Today we're going to install a diesel heater. Yes, one of those Chinese diesel heaters. But we've done a whole lot of upgrades to it. So we're putting in all the different upgrades to hopefully make this diesel heater last a lot longer than we've ever had before. This is going to keep us warm all through winter. Anyway, let's get into the install. Righto, diesel heater fitting up into a Caravan. Now these things are absolutely awesome because it means you can go off-grid and have heating while you're out in the cold. Winter's coming up, so it's pretty important. Anyway, just picked up a diesel heating kit from online. All the kits are pretty much the same. They're very cheap these days and they work really, really well. But there is some things in the kit that you will need to get rid of straight away. You can use it all, but I can guarantee you some of it will not last the life of the kit. Right, so having said all that, let's look at the kit and see what you get in it. You get your diesel tank. Now, to be honest, this diesel tank is pretty useless. The cap, none of it's UV rated, and unless it's all covered up and hidden, it's not going to last much longer than a couple of years. So, replacement tank, don't worry about that. Instruction manual, the diesel heating unit itself, a remote control system and digital display, your air filter, wiring harness, exhaust tube, fuel filter, muffler, your duct vent, your mounting plate, gasket, ductwork, rubber isolator for your fuel pump, and lastly, our fuel line. This is something you'd find at a fishing lure shop. We won't be using this, we'll be buying proper 4mm fuel line, so this stuff can also get tossed away. Righto, we've got our upgraded components that we're going to be using for the diesel heater as well. Now we have this full big massive shroud that allows us to cut a big hole in the bottom of the floor, and this will shroud around where our exhaust and our air intake comes in and hopefully give a little bit more protection. An upgraded fuel pump holder, just has that little bit of a metal support there. Hopefully that'll hold it in a little bit better. Upgraded muffler, this should make things a little bit quieter, and apparently a new upgraded diesel pump or fuel pump with a built-in filter, so this is supposed to be quieter as well. So anyway, let's upgrade all these systems. All these components don't come with your diesel kit, so you have to buy all these separately. Righto, so the next thing you need to do is locate a position that you're going to fit your main diesel heater unit. Right under my little lounge, my little L-shaped lounge just behind the table here, there's a huge big empty void which is really not well organized by this manufacturer at all. So I would have put the water pump, tucked it up against the wheel guard there because there's a big empty spot. On top of that, I would have moved all my piping just over to this section here. You can utilize that for a little bit more storage. But for us, our heater will fit in there perfectly, and even better than that, for me, is power, but we'll get to that in a second. Two big things you have to take into account and when you're putting it in. The first one is where the hole is going to cut into the base floor of your Caravan. Yes, you have to cut a hole into the floor of your Caravan, but don't panic. It can be all sealed up. But the other big thing is power. You need to get power to your wiring harness. Now, there's a couple of things you can do. You can come directly from your battery, which isn't too bad because the unit does have a fuse, inline fuse to it, so it is protected. You can come from your main power control module, which mine's under the bed. Tested all that. Just pull your multimeter out, start going through it all and find your 12 volts, constant 12 volts, not something that has to be turned on and off. Righto, so we've organised where we're going to put it. We've wired up all our plugs, so all the electrical's done. It just needs to be plug and play now. Now comes the seemingly scary part. Drilling holes in your Caravan floor. Now it's pretty important that you make sure that you measure where you're going to be putting it, climb underneath your Caravan, measure it out to make sure you're not going to hit any electrical, gas, water, any piping, any lines whatsoever. Make sure it's in a nice clear location, otherwise you're going to cause yourself a whole heap of dramas. If there's anything in the way, it's fairly easy to move over to the side and re-put up. They're just held up with some little clips, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue to move piping out of the way if you found the right location. Luckily for me, got our backing plate on the back of that diesel heater. So if we lift that diesel heater up now, you can see our backing plate can now be used as a template. Now to make sure that we've got it in the exact right location and we're not going to stuff up, we're going to drill one small hole right where the fuel line comes up, and then we can double check underneath the van to make sure we're clear. So double checking under the van again. As you can see, all my measurements were right. There's my hole. So we're okay to keep drilling our other holes, and we're not going to crash into anything at all. Look at that mighty big hole we've got in there now. All our holes are drilled. Now we're ready to mount the diesel heater. Make sure your gasket is on place. Seal it up with some of this RS80 from ChemTools. The cool thing about this is you don't need a caulking gun. It's all built in. You just squeeze this trigger and off it goes. Right, so we're going to run this sealant right around the edge. And that will just help it. That'll seal off any moisture coming up, and because it's heat resistant, we're not going to have any issues. So we'll actually just go a little bit out on this edge too. Make it impossible to remove later on. And that's it, you just squeeze the trigger. It's pretty cool. Okay, let's mount it down into our hole. Screwing the plate down. Right, so you can see our hole was a little bit bigger than what it should be, but that's okay. We're just gonna fill it all up, seal all those gaps off. Righto, so we don't have a huge amount of room because we've got this big giant shield around it. So we'll just try and put them on, and then we'll have to do these all up with a spanner. Righto, now our intake. Pipe bracket to hold up our intake. Righto, so this is the diesel pump that comes with the kit. It's a diaphragm pump, and this is the new so-called sealant pump with an inbuilt filter. So now we need to mount these, there is a bit of an angle, but as close to vertical as possible so that no air can sit inside the pump, can run up and purge out so it doesn't damage the inside of the pump and we don't get air locks into our system. Our mount on, and we're going to pretty much put it right here. I think we don't have any kinks or damage to our supply line, so let's screw it up to there. Righto, now our exhaust pipe. Here's our new exhaust piece. Now I've had to drill out these holes just a fraction larger. I'm going to sit it right here. Now we need to mount our control panel. Now, this is another small flaw with the unit. This control panel has your mounting panel, so you screw this to wherever you're going to mount it. Clip that straight in. Beautifully done. Need to drill a hole, but the problem is the plug size is massive. So it means we need to drill a hole big enough for that plug size to get through and then try to hide the wiring somehow. So what I've actually done, we need to drill a hole about 19 mil. We don't want to be able to see that hole. In our little housing, I've just filed out a little bit of a groove there, you can see that. So the wire can tuck in up underneath and hopefully the hole will be roughly back here somewhere. Are you kidding? The hole's still not, oh hang on. Yes, There you go, 19 mil hole. Look at that. Look how neat that looks there as a control module. Righto, there's only one more hole left to drill, and that is the hole for the fuel pump plug. Again, it's going to have to be a big hole, which is really frustrating. So unless you can unclip those little clips out of there, which is not a very easy thing to do, we need to drill a hole this big through the floor again, which is really frustrating because it means we're going to have to fill that whole hole up with silicone to seal it off. Time to fit our outlet vent. Now this is quite a big hole, 76 mil hole saw. This is one hole we do not want to stuff up and put in the wrong spot, otherwise my wife really will be upset. We've been able to hide all the holes. Again, this will be nicely hidden because it has a nice sort of flange fitting on it. We need to make sure we get it in the exact right spot where the ducting will be able to come up and spin, connect onto the back of that, hose clamp it on. Righto, so that's the inside of the installation all done. So our internal ducting, our internal wiring, the heater unit's all hooked up, the control panel's all hooked up, something with a fuel tank that we spoke about before. The rubbishy one they give you, not ideal. But the other great thing about this stainless steel fuel tank is that you've got a really good, nice rubber seal, a solid good cap on the top, not like the other plastic one. Seals up nicely, and it's lockable so that no one can get in there with a siphon hose and steal all your fuel. But they can't just pull the fuel line off and steal your fuel. Right, we've got two little rubber washers. We're actually going to put those rubber washers, tech screw through the tank, and the rubber washers on the inside. That way it'll press in and seal up on here as well. Righto, the tank is on. I'm a little bit frustrated because it's a little bit crooked. It's not exactly straight. Righto, just to help a bit of the airflow get through this box here, so we've got some cool air coming in down low where the cold air will be, so it can suck the cold air in. Righto, so we've got the fuel line running all the way along. We've actually chased all the original lines, and so we can keep it all nice and neat, well, as neat as it actually already was. Fill that up with fuel, let it gravity feed down so the whole fuel line will be full of fuel, and then pinch that fuel line off. Righto, so the first thing we want to do before we do anything else is we've got a little priming pump button here, which is really cool. Just hold our finger on that for a second. I don't know if you can hear that, but you can see the little pump, it's priming fuel. There we go. Let's hit the go button. Alright, we're firing up. It's trying to fire up. I can hear the diesel pump clicking. Our fan here, blowing cold air, but it's whirring up. You can feel suction at the back here. So we've got intake, we've got output. That fan's getting a little bit faster, so it's happening. It's all happening, people. It's exciting. Right, this is first fire up. As you saw, we've turned it on. That fan has really kicked into gear. The little fuel pump is going, and I can hear the ignition fire up. So, and that air is starting to warm up. So we have success. The system is working. We now have an off-grid heater in the van ready to go out camping. How good is that? That's awesome. That heat coming out of there is really nice. It's only getting hotter and hotter. Let's get a temperature gun and check it out. Righto, let's put the heat gun in front of here. Look at that. So we're pushing out, well, it's still rising, around that 35 degrees is coming out of there. 40, nice, look at this. Now the exhaust air is pretty hot as well, so just be careful, be aware of that. Righto, so the system is working really, really well, and it is actually heating up in this Caravan quite quickly. I've had it running for about 5 minutes. I'm going to run it for probably a good 15 minutes for its first run. Just burn anything else out that might be there. Give it a really good prime, give it a good test run, so I know that when we get out camping, everything's going to be fine. Now there's one last thing I need to do. I need to vacuum all this mess up, put everything back together so that we keep the wife and the family happy. I think they'll be really, really happy that they're going to have a nice warm van when we go camping out in coming up to winter. So that's going to be really good. Now a couple little tips that you need to know with these heaters. If you're running it on a low heat and you're running it for a long time on a low heat, they do have a tendency of carboning up. So it's highly recommended that you turn up the heat to full pelt and run it for about 5 minutes before you shut the system down. Just helps burn all that stuff out. If it's been sitting idle for some time and you haven't used your van for months on end, and you go to start it up for the first time, you'll notice that out of the exhaust will blow a whole lot of white smoke. It doesn't look very good, but don't be too concerned. That'll burn off pretty quickly within 5 minutes, or that'll be burnt off and you won't have an issue. But do it before you go camping, because you don't want to get out camping, set up around other campers, start it up for the first time and blow all that white smoke all over the campsite. It's not going to win you any friends. Righto, that's it. The diesel heater is completely set up, all running and all operational with all the upgrades. So stainless steel, new fuel tank, new fuel line that should last a very long time. It's automotive line. Now that's the same lines they use in all the cars that run for forever. I've seen those lines last for 30, 40 years in old Land Cruisers. We've upgraded the exhaust system. Now I thought it was stainless, it's all aluminium from what I can tell, but that's good. It's a lot quieter, it won't rust out. And we've upgraded the pump with the integrated filter. Now it seems to be a bit quieter, but really we'll find out when we get out in the campsite. We've upgraded some of the wiring as well, because when we started it up, we had a couple issues. It would run and then it would drop out just as it was starting up at certain times. And I found that the BMS system in this particular van couldn't handle that quick spike of when it first started up to warm up the glow plugs. So we've given it its own wiring system and fuse system away from the BMS system, but still all running through the shunt so we can capture all the power usage when we're out off grid. So that's it. Hopefully you guys have found this video helpful, and until next time, take care of yourselves.